This is the worst for you, right, Colleen?
It is.
Scary children.
They're the scariest of all scary things.
That's
Our
why I
children.
did this for you.
That's why I don't bring my
Singing
children to the studio.
The scariest animatronic right now at the Spirit Halloween store is this little child's voice going, "Come and play with me. Do you want to play?" And then it starts going, "And then we'll together." It just gets scarier.
Now, how do you know it's animatronic? It could be a legitimate kid who
It
wants
was my
you to,
kid.
wants you to
Mom, please, will you play with
play.
us? Please. Take us out of the car.
Well, we are winding down our week of Halloween shows, but can scary kids take taxis? What's your age limit on taxi cabs?
I think anyone from 2 and above should take their own taxi. There's an easy app they could use if you're there 2 or above.
Well, if they are aware that their mom and dad have the
My kids love getting dropped off at school by a blue and white
By
every
a blue
day.
and white?
Every day.
they just
Mom has DUIs.
they say thank you for that cruise app from
Yeah.
Blue and White.
Introducing the Twin Cities' newest transportation app, Cruise. C-R-U-Z, with no surge pricing ever.
Cruise to that brewery.
Cruise to that concert.
Cruise to that ball game.
Cruise home from that party.
I like Tom Cruise.
No kidding. I do. Sensing a pattern? Cruise. That's C-R-U-Z, the new app that saves you money with no surge pricing ever. Book in advance and save even more with Cruise. Download the Cruise app. Follow him on Twitter at Time to Cruise to get weekly ride discounts.
Whenever you booze, use Cruise.
Download Cruise right now on iOS or Android.
Do it now.
Okay.
We got a big show here today. We're going to talk about real ghost tours as opposed to those phony ones. This is a real...
That were on earlier this week. I mean, no.
Maybe. Real ghost tours here in Minneapolis. And then we have the best psychic in Minnesota. She's downstairs in the living room taking, I'm sure, getting bad signals from...
She's checking my Facebook so she can give me an accurate reading.
I looked her up on Yelp. She is rated number 1.
I'm getting
See,
her.
I wasn't kidding.
I want a reading.
So she's going to be here in the second half hour. We're going to also talk about, to stop the show, or stop, Chuck stops the show. To start the show, just a moment from the debate last night, and then did you hear about the real-life monster, Jared Fogle? Yeah, I'll let you listen to audio tapes.
Come on, that's a tease.
From
And at the
this.
top of the hour, at the end of the hour.
And that's coming up. But let's get this Halloween show started, shall we?
Congratulations, you found the Twin Cities hit show.
Very well. Where do I begin?
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
You're lucky to be here.
Thank you, sir.
Reach for this one.
And now, a real hit show.
Welcome to the worst nightmare of all.
Live from the Twin Cities,
Your suffering will be legendary even in hell.
it's the Twin Cities hit show.
Explorers in the further regions of experience, demons to some, angels to others.
Coming to you live from the Alive and Social Network studios.
I cannot die. I am forever.
And now, let's get this hit show started.
We have eternity to know your flesh.
Hellraiser.
No, that wasn't Jared yet.
That was his OK Cupid profile.
Yeah, I listened to these Jared tapes this morning, and he's a monster.
I have no idea what
I have
we're
no
talking about.
idea
You're killing
either.
me.
He is a
Come on.
monster.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though. When this week ends, what the hell are you going to do with your free time in the production side of things? You've gone...
Hey, we've got a big series of shows next week. Neil Justin is going to come in. I'm trying to bribe him to write a whole story on us for the paper.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of stuff coming in next week. I am curious. You want your palm read or something today, don't you?
I do. I want to get a reading.
Have you been to a psychic
Never.
before?
I'm a skeptic.
What if she has some bad things to say?
I like it. Bring it on. I want to know. I'm a planner. I'm a planner by nature. I like to know.
All right.
It'd be interesting.
Well, yes. Good Lord. Jared had some horrible things to say, and it was recorded. And here's how he got busted. It wasn't the computers. He befriended this radio host, and she started to get a creepy vibe from this monster. She has
tapes on
5 years of recordings.
Wow.
And the first set of recordings were like 4 years ago, and the FBI dropped the ball. And so finally, when he threatens her family, which you'll hear at the end of this, that's when she's had enough and went to the FBI again. But listen to this. Ugh.
In the audio recordings being heard publicly for the first time, Jared Fogle discusses his sexual interest in children.
I like all ages. That's the thing. I mean, I like all of them, you know?
Well, what makes it different? I mean, from one age to another, why just...
Well, it just depends who's ready for what, and, you know, who's going to give you the glance, you know what I mean?
The woman talking with Fogle is Rochelle Herman-Walren, a former radio host who interviewed Fogle and became suspicious when she overheard him say he found middle school girls attractive. Yeah. Herman-Walren told Dr. Phil McGraw she began providing secretly recorded conversations to the FBI.
How did you feel when he said those things?
Disgusting. I felt like I was so dirty. My soul was dirty.
Just sharing stories, and then, you know, we get a little closer and a little closer and a little closer, and before you know it, it just starts to happen.
So it's not that hard to do?
No, not at all.
He talks about how to groom a family. He talks about how to groom the victim. He talks about all the things he does, the tricks of his trade. He just basically gives you the playbook of an evil monster.
Hi, I'm Jared the Subway Guy.
Fogle became a household name as a pitchman for Subway, and he used his fame to establish a foundation promoting healthy lifestyles among children. In August, Fogle pleaded guilty to 1 count of distributing and receiving child pornography, and 1 count of crossing state lines to engage in illicit sex with minors. He will be sentenced in November. Subway cut ties with its spokesman following his arrest. In September, the chain said Herman-Walren made a serious complaint about Fogle in 2011, but that it had been mishandled. After amassing 5 years' worth of recordings, Herman-Walren finally reached her breaking point when Fogle mentioned her 2 young children.
Listen to this.
What if we put a camera in your kids' room? Would it be okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather have it in your son or your daughter's room?
Oh, I don't know. That would be,
Which one do you think would be better?
I don't know.
Oh, it sounds like he's
Tell me.
But I'm a
Wow.
Doesn't he sound like he's jerking off in the background?
I'll take.
Which one would it be better in? Okay, I'll tell you what.
Oh my God.
OMG.
When Dr.
OMG,
Phil
everybody.
talks about grooming the victims, that's like a real thing. I've seen that in my career where they
I know.
they creep in, and there's a whole process, and it's just this mission creep where they like start out as friends, and pretty soon these parents, you won't believe some of the stuff these parents allow to happen right in their presence.
They kids that have stable present parents are more likely to not have these issues. Not that it can't happen like randomly, but these are they know what to look for. The parents that don't really keep tabs on where their kids are, who they're hanging out with, who they're talking to, and
that you're probably right, but still. He's the monster.
Oh, no, absolutely. I'm not saying it, but it's
I saw you react to her going, I don't know what room. She obviously was playing the undercover detective and giving him line, and then the story goes on to say she would have to leave her house for like 2 hours to recover from these recorded conversations because she was sick to her stomach.
Well, here's the thing. The way she played it, too, was almost over the top, and he's so stupid he didn't buy it. And she's like, oh, yeah, whatever room you want, man.
Yeah. And then he does this... like charity for kids so they're healthy because he wants his kids hot, and svelte.
If you have skinny kids, you might be a monster.
Oh,
so we're going to talk about monsters and such on this show, but Jared is the
real
winner.
Life ones.
Jared gave me more goosebumps by how horrible that was than anything I think we'll get today.
And his sentencing is in November. So, granted, he just got charged with the 2 things.
So then
I think there's more to come.
Is there video of him audio of him threatening her? Is that what they were saying, or?
Yeah.
Well,
they implied.
The implication was, he wanted to freaking get video of her kids.
But also that he kind of, when this started falling apart, he might have threatened her.
Oh, I don't know. We'll find out.
Oh, this is juicy.
So gross.
I hope he rots in hell.
I just
see
see him with his stupid giant pants, holding up his giant pants. So gross.
Donald Trump's going to be on Saturday Night Live this weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's having... Oh, wait, no, it's a week from Saturday. I don't think it's Halloween night. But there's blowback on that.
Good morning. So a coalition of Latino groups says Trump's inflammatory remarks about undocumented Mexican immigrants should disqualify him from appearing. Now, this comes as a new poll out is showing 72% of Hispanics view Trump unfavorably. But so far, Saturday Night Live isn't backing down.
Let's face it, nobody alive has more class than me, all right?
Donald Trump is no stranger to Saturday Night Live, both as a target
I'm just like you, a regular Joe, but better.
and as a host.
I didn't know he hosted
Nobody's
before.
better than me.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
I'm a ratings machine.
But when NBC announced the Republican presidential candidate would return to host the show next month, there was immediate backlash from Latino advocacy
So it is a week
groups
from
who were
Saturday.
upset by comments Trump made about immigrants from Mexico.
All right, so we'll go over that then when he comes back. But last night, the highlight was Jeb Bush and Marco Rubio getting into it for a moment during the
I
debate.
didn't watch.
Saw a little clip.
They were more civil to each other, but this happened, and then we'll do
Stepping
that.
up here because I'm a constituent of the senator, and I helped him, and I expected that he would do constituent service, which means that he shows up to work. He got endorsed by the Sun Sentinel because he was the most talented guy in the field. He's a gifted politician. But Marco, when you signed up for this was a 6-year term. And you should be showing up to work. I mean, literally, the Senate, what is it, like a French work week? You get like 3 days where you have to show up?
Ooh,
You
mention
can
the
campaign
French.
or just resign and let someone else take the job. There are a lot of people living paycheck to paycheck in Florida as well. They're looking for a senator that will fight for them each and every day.
I get to respond, right?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Well, it's interesting. Over the last few weeks, I've listened to Jeb as he walked around the country and said that you're modeling your campaign after John McCain, that you're going to launch a furious comeback the way he did by fighting hard in New Hampshire and places like that, carrying your own bag at the airport. You know how many votes John McCain missed when he was carrying out that furious comeback that you're now modeling it under?
He wasn't my
No, Jeb, I don't
my
remember.
senator.
Well, let me tell you, I don't remember you ever complaining about John McCain's vote record. The only reason why you're doing it now is because we're running for the same position, and someone has convinced you that attacking me is going to help you. Here's the bottom line. My campaign is going to be about the future of America. It's not going to be about attacking anyone else on this stage. I will continue to have tremendous admiration and respect for Governor Bush. I'm not running against Governor Bush. I'm not running against anyone on the stage. I'm running for president because there is no way we can elect Hillary Clinton to continue the policies of Barack Obama.
Jeb was his mentor.
Yeah.
But now Jeb is...
Gloves are off.
Oh, it's
Gloves
a
are
Darth
off.
Vader story. I like it.
Yeah.
The
I am your
only
father.
thing that I saw something on Facebook today. It was who I cannot stand is Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
Can't stand him.
Although
I mean,
he's
just-
really good looking.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just the face on that guy.
He looks
It
like that
just
parrot guy everyone's
kills
talking about.
me.
The guy who made himself up like a parrot.
He kills me. But he did make a point, and I had heard the questions that were being put to the Republicans versus the Democratic ones. The other ones were really like, what's your favorite color? And if you were a tree, that kind of stuff. And then the Republicans, they just he said this about you. What do you say about that? He said, and his point was, I'm pretty sure people just want us to talk about where we stand on policy. It was just almost like a pageantry kind of ridiculous thing. And it was kind of true.
Well, Chris Christie did that too. He said, you're
Yeah.
trying to say who insulted you.
Yeah.
He said that about you. What do you think?
Yeah.
He tried to make
Well,
a
because
fight
they're
about it.
rating boom. I mean, the advertising was through the roof. How much it costs to get a commercial on air during the debate? So they want to make them juicy and salacious. And who can we get to say
Yeah.
this? And
Overall, it was more civil and on the point, so that's good. All right, enough
care.
about civil crap. Let's get to scary. Let's get back to some scary
that was
stuff.
pretty scary, though.
Look at what you're wearing. What do you got?
Spooky.
A skull scarf and a spooky orange shirt. You're
Yeah,
ready.
it's so spooky.
Would you go on a ghost tour?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to.
You want to go on a real ghost
Yes,
tour?
I do. I want to see real ghosts.
I'm in.
I don't want people clapping from behind curtains. I want real ghosts.
We have Lee and Marcel, two lovely ladies here in the studio. Did I get your Lee right?
Mhm,
And
you
then
got it.
Marcel.
And her eye makeup is spot on, by the way.
Oh, girl, thank you.
So you explain what goes on.
Well, it is a walking history tour as well as a paranormal investigation. So everybody that comes on the tour receives their own ghost hunting kit that they get to walk around with. That contains an EMF detector, dowsing rods, and a flashlight. So we kind of give you an instructional on how to use those, and we investigate about 4 different places during a 90-minute tour.
And where does this take place?
St. Anthony, Maine. We start in front of on the riverbank, and then we go inside. We do the basement of Prochna, the basement of the mattress factory, and a few different areas.
And, of course, they are allowing you to do that. You're not jimmying a lock and cracking a window.
We are 100% allowed to be there. The company that owns us also runs a Segway tour out of the building.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't
miss them,
ghost
really.
tours aren't on Segways.
They are
on
not.
Segways.
We would die and become part of the
This
tour.
Segway is haunted. It's not doing what I'm telling you to.
Yeah. Too many problems.
Let's go through these places one by one. Where's the first stop on the tour?
The first stop, we take you outside, and we do an investigation under the 3rd Avenue Bridge.
And what's so creepy about that?
There have been 300 suicide attempts. The majority of them were successful. And because of where our storefront is located, a lot of those bodies have washed up pretty much right in front of us. So, yeah, there's a few pretty cool spirits down there that like to communicate with us. So it's pretty interesting.
Were you always I guess you're a believer.
I am. Yeah, absolutely. I'm an actor by trade, so that's what my degree's in. That's what I've always done. And I kind of fell into this. I went on the tour randomly one night, just something to do, and I fell in love with it. So I'm pretty new to the paranormal field, but I think I'm gonna stay for a while.
So you start under the bridge, and
Yes.
what has happened between the two of you? You had creepy moments under the bridge?
That sounds weird.
Oh, yeah.
Have you felt entities or heard things or seen apparitions?
Under the bridge is not so much creepy as much as it's good for talking to people. So
Yeah.
before they revitalized that area in the 80s, for a really long time it was home to many homeless people. It was considered a little bit of a skid row.
Yeah.
And until they revitalized it in the 80s, it wasn't a very nice area. And that's when they started building those condos too. It's a completely different place now.
Got it.
I think people kind of forget that. So we're able to talk to some of the homeless people who are maybe at unrest or some of the people who have committed suicide, and they talk with us. You know, they don't haunt us. There are other places of the building that are scary.
Engaging the homeless is part of the tour?
Yep,
just the dead ones. Just the dead ones.
Oh, just the dead ones. All right, so then where do we go? From there, where is the next stop on this creepy tour?
The next stop, we talk a little bit about Prochna, which was Minneapolis's very first bar. So that's my favorite stop personally. We do that. We go into the basement there. And we also go into our Spirit River,
What's haunted about Prochna?
Well, it used to be a brothel, so there's a lot of ladies of the evening that are still hanging out, kind of running the
ghosts.
show. Yeah, some
You're saying I
sexy
stand a
ladies.
chance.
Yeah, it was a big place. Like during Prohibition, they turned it into a speakeasy and a brothel, so there were a lot of gangsters that came through. We think we have a lot of spirits of the men that used to hang out there.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, lots of violence happened
sorry,
in
honey.
Prochna. You know, you get drunk people together, and sometimes things don't go very well.
So what what has been some of the experiences in that room in Prochna?
We get a lot of EMF spikes there. It's pretty insane, the amount of activity we get down there. A lot of EVP recordings.
Explain the difference.
EMF spike.
EMF detectors measure electromagnetic field. So basically, you'll have a base reading, which is usually just kind of pretty low. And we can use it. Spirits... Marcel's probably better at explaining this, but...
Marcel?
Yeah, take
So
it away.
the idea is that the spirits are made of electrical energy, and they're able to manipulate electrical instruments. So they generate a much stronger field than you would pick up from, say, the dam, which we use as an example of being able to detect the field. But if you held it up to your phone, you also get a pretty strong reading. So as long as you know that you're not near any electronics, you can pretty much assume that what's happening is a paranormal activity.
And do they talk to you, touch you?
Yes.
So you have some of our EVP,
Yeah,
and that's
okay.
them talking to us. Those, we know that those are their voices because no one else in the room is saying these things.
All right, so this first one, little Tommy, is slowed down, and what are we listening
Don't
for?
tell us what he says. Let's see if we can figure it out and then tell us.
But it's slowed down.
These are children having a little conversation with our EVP queen, Katie Quella.
Okay, here it is.
You want help? Stand my little red light. What help you need?
I stink. I stink. You. That's what it says.
But so when the room was quiet, those voices were heard.
Yes,
That's right.
And we don't.
we have
You don't hear them audibly. Or you hear it when you play it back.
Yeah, you have to slow it down too because they speak really fast.
So is that her talking, and then you could hear the
Yeah,
child voice?
she's
So
basically asking Tommy, who is one of our child spirits that she is kind of adopted.
Okay.
Asking him to come speak into her red light, and you can hear. He does, and it sounds like there could be more than
children
one.
so much regularly.
Yeah,
Do
exactly.
you say you don't hear it? Do you ever hear a voice without the recording of it?
Oh yeah, occasionally. Not super often. It's happened to me probably once or twice on the tour. Katie hears them constantly. She's a medium, so she's always picking up on things.
So part of the tour is just hearing ghost stories and being in that location.
Yes.
You're not necessarily guaranteed. You're guaranteed to get a ghost.
Yeah,
you are guaranteed to get a ghost. We have
Oh.
so much activity on this tour. There is
Really?
never a night we don't pick up on something.
All right, we're going to play some more of the sound. Let's listen in.
Michelle, are you here right now?
That one is really interesting. That's actually from this past weekend. If you listen closely, she says, "Michelle, are you here?" Michelle was actually a spirit that attached to somebody that came on the tour. And I don't know if you want to play it again, but
you
it
can.
says, she says, "I freaked out in fear, clear as day."
And that's after she asks the
After
question?
she asks, "Michelle, are you here?"
Okay, we'll try it again.
Michelle, are you here right now?
A little bit there at the end.
So we don't necessarily encourage people in that kind of a way to talk to somebody that they might have brought. We have enough spirits to talk to. We have plenty of spirits to introduce you to. But this one, it was the last 10 minutes of the tour, and our paranormal investigator, Katie, and the woman on tour were feeling their hair played with, was feeling pulling on their earring, and she asked about it. She said, "Who's pulling on my earring?" And then these recordings came up, and she figured out that it was her friend's voice.
Her dead friend?
Mhm.
Oh, so the girl that came on the tour.
Yeah, her friend had died a few months earlier. And so when she heard the EVP, she automatically just kind of lost it. She said, "That's her voice, that's her voice."
And is that something you're able to re-cue right there at the moment, or is that hours later back at the office?
You can hear it on the recorder. We're able to play it back in a speaker, so she was able to hear it.
Yeah.
So that's part of the tour. So when you go and you're recording stuff, then at the end you guys listen back? or?
Sometimes, yeah. Katie is the EVP queen. She can get an EVP in a gas station. Seriously, I've never seen anything like it.
That
I don't know
sounds
how
like
she...
you need some penicillin.
I
got an EVP in a gas station.
I don't know how she does it.
Birds like hell.
But yeah. So when Katie thinks she caught something, she usually reviews it as the tour is going on. She doesn't do it all because that would take forever. But yeah, if she thinks she caught something substantial, she'll usually review it.
And who is special? Am I special?
We use something called an Ovulus, which generates words, and it's a smartphone app. And the reason I believe it works is because I've seen it work. So I was pretty skeptical about being able to use a smartphone, but it's an electrical object that you can manipulate like anything else. And when you see it sync up with the EMF readers and get EVP along with it that matches up with the word, then you're like, oh wow, this is working. Mm-hmm. So we got the word special. And you hear some of us in the room say, oh, special. We're acknowledging that it came up on the Ovulus. And then you hear Michelle say, you're special. And that's, again, she's saying, oh, that's her voice.
Mm-hmm. So we'll hear the ghost say,
you're special.
Oh, okay, hold on.
So who is playing with her earring? Special. Special.
You're special.
Is that Michelle? Yeah. I was answering.
And there's knocking.
We've never heard that sound on tour before. We've been doing this for 5 years.
Michelle, are you here right now?
She said, so the ghost said you're special?
You're special.
We'll hear it again. Hold on.
And you can hear how it's manipulated. So that has actually been, the volume has been enhanced there in the audio. And you could hear how it's got that kind of electronic screeching there. Okay. That's also how we know that it's not.
So who is playing with her earring? Special. You're special.
Is that Michelle?
That's the clearest one I've ever heard. They're normally so garbled.
Yeah. Come in.
I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Sorry, we're doing dishes.
Bye, Michelle.
Come back later.
The pictures on your site are great. There's a lot of people are posting the pictures on the staircase with this kind of woman standing up behind him. I don't know.
Oh, that's a green screen. That's a really famous ghost photo, and people love to get that photo.
Interesting.
Oh, so that's on
not
the...
our photo.
Oh, that's not.
Though we have plenty of photos.
Yeah, I'm going through your photos.
We actually have a photo of an apparition where we are on the second floor of a building, and you see two girls in the front of the photo, and in the window pane behind them is a woman outside of the window. That's a very clear picture of an apparition.
Yeah. It's crazy, y'all.
It
is just crazy. Please do. It's
Does it spike during this time of the season? Does Halloween mean anything to the ghosts?
Oh, yeah. Well, the veil between the living and the dead gets much thinner as Halloween approaches.
Because people like to dabble and try to conjure stuff up, or because why?
No, it's actually a natural thing. So we get into a pattern of reflecting the outside world, and things are literally dying around us, which sort of enhances the darkness, or what you might call the shadow, and which is why you say the veil is getting thinner, because it's literally becoming darker, which is, makes it easier for them to come out and communicate.
That was me.
That was super clear.
That was really good.
Play that back. It'll still be
You're
me.
Special. You're special.
Yeah, I could do two impressions. Donald Duck sneezing and an evil ghoul. Evil ghoul.
Oh, I think it's and an eagle. I've heard you do an eagle.
And an eagle. And I can do three. My evil ghoul.
Oh my God!
Thank you.
It's like it's not coming out of your mouth.
I look over and his mouth isn't moving. It's really creepy.
Right?
Yeah, that's very good.
Donald Duck sneezing.
And your eagle.
Yes.
If you want me on the tour, I have to have evenings free.
You're hired.
He happens to have them.
Sound effect.
Eagle, are you here?
Special.
Yes.
No. The eagle has a cold. The folks at did you see the movie The Conjuring?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think of it? Because that was supposed to be a true story, and the house had ghosts and whatever, and they
Lorraine
hired
Warren, right? And Ed, I think her husband's name was.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a firm believer, and I will say I've always been a believer. But if I wasn't a believer, I would be now. After doing this
going
tour.
through the tours.
Yeah.
Well, the real owner of the Conjuring house is trying to sue the studio because people keep showing up, especially this time of the year, to get a glimpse of their house, and I suppose try to get in and whatever. And listen to this.
There's something horrible happening in my house. Could you come and take a look?
When The Conjuring opened in theaters in 2013, it was a box office hit that raked in $137 million in the U.S. and terrified audiences worldwide. The film, based on what it claims is a true story, follows two ghost hunters in the 1970s investigating the haunted Rhode Island home of the Perrin family.
Something awful happened here, Ed. They can come in from any direction.
But it's not the supernatural that Norma Sutcliffe is afraid of.
The biggest fear is every day we live with the fact we don't know what may happen.
Since the film's release, the 68-year-old has been spooked by what court papers describe as a conjuring-instigated siege of their property. Movie fans desperate to see the real-life house that inspired the film.
And so you guys have permission to go where you're going. You're not invading. Yeah, okay.
No. Our guests do not have permission to go without us, though.
Aha. You can't do the real ghost tour by yourself.
No, there are emotional alarms. So.
Let's go at 3 a.m.
I was here 2 weeks ago with Lee, so I think I'm okay.
I'm totally
Sure,
allowed.
it's fine. So, like here, this homeless guy. What are the details then? Is there time left to go this weekend?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We do tours Thursday through Sunday nights at 8, 9:30, and 11 p.m.
90 minutes?
90 minutes.
Okay.
And it's a walking tour, but we do have elevator access to most places as well if maybe, some people...
Elevator to hell!
We also have a special event on Halloween night. So our 11 o'clock tour is going to be a little longer. It's the same price for a longer tour. And you skip the history, and you just get to stay in the spaces with our mediums and do the paranormal investigating. Because a lot of people, they take the tour and they get an introduction to ghost hunting, and then they're like, I want to come back and be here longer.
Yeah.
So it's just for the paranormal lovers.
And there will be still room for our listeners to get a hold of
and
you?
we have tours all this winter, and all winter is a great time to talk to spirits.
Now
The veil is really lifted at that point. It's just-
You're telling me January 30th you're out there in 20 below doing a walking tour?
We don't necessarily go outside, but that portion
Okay,
of our
good.
tour is only 15 minutes.
Oh, okay, good. All right. So it's year round, but this, I think, would be the weekend, right?
Oh, for sure.
And Halloween's on a Saturday night, and their clocks fall back.
Yeah.
So you get an extra hour,
Yeah, all right.
Oh, yeah.
So we linked up your information on our website. Get a hold of the real ghost tours.
Yes.
Don't settle for anything less. All
Do
right?
not do it.
Well, thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
We are going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, the best psychic in Minnesota will get a reading on the disturbed life of Colleen Justice. We'll be right back. Third Street Brewhouse, built on a perfect site in Cold Spring, Minnesota, combining the state-of-the-art brewing facility with exceptional water. Hello, did we mention Cold Spring, Minnesota? They have a dream team of world-class brewers, resulting in unprecedented crafted beers. The core styles of Bitter Black IPA, Lost Trout Brown Ale, and Rise to the Top Cream Ale are intriguing yet satisfying. And look forward to seasonal and specialty beers. Nothing fancy, no fuss. It's all about the beer at Third Street Brewhouse. MacMen. Don't let your computer problems drive you mad. We are MacMen, Minnesota's premier tech consultants and problem solvers for Macs, mobile devices, troubleshooting, training, and much more. No more dragging your computer all over town because we come to you. We love making house calls to your home or small business. MacMen. Call 612-345-8005.
The Rusty Gatenby Review is the entertaining show about entertainment from movies, music, and more. Award-winning TV guy Rusty Gatenby and his review is the podcast with the biggest cast in entertainment, part of the Alive and Social Network. You can get that Minnesota connection to Hollywood and beyond any time of the day or night simply by clicking on the RustyGatenbyReview.com. That's the RustyGatenbyReview.com, part of the Alive and Social Network.
Introducing the Twin Cities' newest transportation app, Cruise. C-R-U-Z, with no surge pricing ever.
Cruise to that brewery.
Cruise to that concert.
Cruise to that ball game.
Cruise home from that party.
I like Tom Cruise.
No kidding. I do. Sensing a pattern? Cruise. That's C-R-U-Z, the new app that saves you money with no surge pricing ever. Book in advance and save even more with Cruise. Download the Cruise app. Follow him on Twitter at Time to Cruise to get weekly ride discounts.
Whenever you booze, use Cruise.
Download Cruise right now on iOS or Android.
You're listening to the Twin Cities Hit Show.
Say it 3 times fast. We just dare you.
If you could read my mind, love, what a tale my thoughts could tell.
Get it?
Just like an old time.
Gordon Lightfoot.
Yes, one of his 2 hits.
Yeah.
The Edmund Fitzgerald
Yep.
didn't seem appropriate. So I did, if you could read my mind. Get it? Oh, never mind. So we have the number 1 psychic in Minnesota with us in studio right now. You laugh, but Chuck didn't believe me either. Lee, Chuck looked it up, and right? She's the number 1.
Number 1 by...
Leaps and Bounds?
BestPsychicDirectory.com.
The most humble psychic.
I am the humble psychic.
So, describe yourself. What does it mean to be a psychic?
Oh boy, that's a loaded question.
Okay.
What does it mean? It just, basically it just, somebody who has been given the gift from the universe. I was given it when my mom died when I was 11, and this will really age me. Because, after she had passed, I was in my room, I was listening to the record player, Fleetwood Mac, and the needle from the turntable started to slide over the record, but it never scratched it, and then lifted up and went back on its jacket. And without hesitation, I just looked up, said, "Really, Mom? I really like that song." And it just flooded from there. So, I've been very fortunate because what I do I love, because it's primarily just helping people. It's guiding people, giving them the right tools, giving them, the resources, the information. And there's a misconception with psychics that it's all about predictions, and it really has nothing to do with it.
Really?
Yeah, they'll come, but if you follow the tools and you follow the guidance, but you have to remember, too, everything is about free will. So if you change your circumstance, you change your outcome.
Because I've visited 2 psychics, and I was skeptical. The first one, though, she did say things that blew me away, and also had thoughts about what will happen, and she batted 100%, and some of them were quite specific. It wasn't general things. But then I went to another psychic who was full of shit. Which one are you?
I'm not the full of shit one.
So, how does this happen then? What's your experience? Do you walk into a room and start getting information? Do you just, or do the lights need to be dimmed? Does it need to be?
No. I just basically, I tune into your energy. I look at you, and I feel things and I hear things. I also do talk to dead people.
Ooh.
But what you have to remember about that piece, being a medium, is, a lot of times people want to talk to their deceased relative, but it's not how it works. If somebody has a message for you, that's what's going to come through. It may not be mom, it may not be grandma, it may not be, but there's definitely always somebody that comes through that has a relevant message.
Because you've heard the rap, a lot of it is, a game of 20 questions. Do you know some of them are, and then they just
start to
It's a
rattle
parlor
off.
game.
It can be with some people,
Yeah.
not me.
Okay. Good.
Because I've been fortunate enough to have so much confirmation. And the other piece, too, is remember that when I am reading, it's not going to happen tomorrow, next week, or
Yeah.
a month. You have to wait. So that's part of the prediction process when that does come forward. So it's putting it in your back pocket, so to speak. And then when it makes sense to you, that's when, you have that aha moment.
Okay. Colleen, do you have some questions?
I don't know. What do you go? Do you have
She
to have
desperately
questions?
wants to do a reading of some sort.
I don't know, because I don't even know how you go to a. Do you go to a psychic with questions, or do you just let them read off of you or get your vibe or whatever it is?
Every reader does it differently.
Yeah.
The way I do it is I would prefer that you ask a question.
Okay.
So,
boy, I don't know. How, do you see any big changes coming for me?
Right now, no. No. Right now, what I get on you is that you need to be, I hear the word consistent. So there's some kind of level of a roller coaster going on around you. And I don't know if you're trying to make some type of major decision, but at this moment, you're supposed to look at everything that is around you and decide by priority. It's an even keel around you. Oh, okay. What they're telling me is that within a year's time, there is going to be, I don't want to use the word promotion, but there is something that's going to take off in this industry. Have you done TV before?
I have not.
Okay, because that's what I'm getting around you. Oh. And I don't know if that's an interest of yours or not.
It is now.
That was easy.
But, yeah, and I also hear host. So you could be, and I don't know why I hear reality, and I hate to say it's a reality show, because I don't think that's what it is, but it's something in regards to you being your own host of a TV show. Where you deal with the reality of what people's emotions are. There's a little comedy in there with you, but for the most part, it feels more genuine, and it feels like the viewership is going to start slow, but then it's going to start to increase by leaps and bounds. So if this is something of interest that you have, what they're saying is do it now. Start doing the research. Start networking, start, meeting with those type of people.
Interesting.
That's interesting.
Do you have another question, Kelly?
Oh, God, I don't even have any questions.
Do you do palm reading, or is that something completely different?
Yeah, that is something that's completely different.
When you say you say they are telling me, who is they?
Well, they for me are my guides.
Okay.
And what I hear snippets. I'll hear words, or I hear small little phrases, not entire sentences, and it's not even a voice. It's just a word that's just kind of in my head.
What about like family dynamics for me? What do you see? Like, is there peace coming? Is there changes there? Like just with relatives? I don't want to be general, but nothing.
Well, no, what's a confrontation?
What is my confrontation? It's not so much a confrontation as it is a situation.
It feels volatile, though. Mm-hmm. Okay? So one member of your family, I don't know if it feels like a female, is somebody that you have to make peace with. And unfortunately, you're the one that has to do the work. So I don't know if that is a sister, a mother, an aunt, whoever that is. And if it doesn't make sense to you right now, don't overthink it. But what you are going to have to do at some point, and I hear the number 3, and for me that could be 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. There's going to be a particular situation that it feels like words are going to be exchanged, and you're the one that's going to have to put forth the apology.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't have taken Grace to Screamtown.
That's who I was going
Warned
for.
You.
I was
You
wondering.
apologize within 3 days.
Yeah.
You lost her. You said that she would have to do all the work.
Yeah.
And she's very lazy about relationships. So.
Well, now this old, her guides
kick in the ass for
exactly.
you. Justice.
Yeah.
So you can get vibes on future things. You said you can't predict the future. So what's the difference? What's the nuance there?
Well, the difference is something going to happen to me, on March 7th, 2019. That is a prediction.
Right. Okay.
Versus, like I had said, if you follow the tools, follow the guidance, then the prediction will come to fruition.
So I can't just sit here and wait for my TV show to come?
No.
I have to do the work.
You have to do the work.
God's sake.
So Are you any good at Canterbury Downs?
No. That's personal gain. That's a no-no.
Yeah. Oh, is that part of what?
Is it like a Hippocratic oath
It
sort
is.
of a thing? That
It is. You know, you don't give out lottery numbers. You don't gamble. You don't. It's just, yeah.
Have you-
Anything that's done for personal gain
Lee,
is bye-bye.
have you ever tried?
Chris Christie, the federal prosecutor taking on the psychics. For
I want to know.
violating the oath.
Would it, like, I have 4 children. Now, what is the? Do you have any feeling for what's going on with them and their? Like any? Is it?
Okay, you have a boy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which one is 13?
Actually, my girl is 13.
Okay. Are the two of them close? Because what I get is if they're not now, they're going to be best friends.
Mm-hmm.
The 13-year-old, you're going to have to watch. I get a little bit of rebellion. She's a handful right now. But she's very intelligent. She's also a very old soul. So, what they're saying to me is that when you look at her, directly look into her eyes, you can see her past life. And what that means is you can see what her... Okay, what are they? They're telling me that in a past life, she was like a teacher. So you're supposed to pay more attention to what she says.
Ugh, I'm not telling her she said that.
Come on now, Colleen.
Because what she's doing is she's teaching you. Okay? She's teaching you, and maybe you haven't recognized it yet, but really look at her, and when she speaks, really listen. Okay? The boy that I'm picking up, what's his first name?
There's 2.
Okay. Little older.
Jack.
Okay. Does he play guitar?
No.
You need to get him into playing guitar.
Okay.
Okay? Because I get a math issue around him. Okay? Maybe, I don't know if it's having difficulty in comprehending it, but...
Math, M-A-T-H?
Yes. But when you combine the math and the music... That's Mom.
Math, M-A-T-H, that's better.
Yes. Combine the math and the music, okay, this is going to shock you. Because what they're telling me is that he's going to become a physicist.
Wow, that is shocking.
There you go. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So start the guitar lessons now.
Okay, good.
Start at $529 because it's going to be an expensive thing for you.
Super shocking. That's
Chuck,
crazy.
do you have any questions for our psychic?
When am I going to stop being so fucked up? No.
Ooh.
What do you got for me? Come
Well,
on.
okay, actually-
I'm a total skeptic. So
Okay, that's okay. But what I get around you, and I actually heard it downstairs, is you are very intuitive yourself. And you are supposed to use it in your comedy routine.
What does that mean to be intuitive then?
It means to be open to the process. It means, okay, like what I tell my clients is, I can see, hear, and feel, but your gut is never going to fail you. So you have to listen, pay attention, be open to your gut. That's sixth sense. So if you're driving down the road and you hear yourself saying go left instead of go right, you better damn well go left.
okay, might buy that. You might have nailed my comedy. It needs some work. Okay, good. All right, so there's a lot going on in terms of my job situation and relationships. Peg on one of those. What do you got for me?
Relationships for you kind of suck.
Yeah. Anyone would have picked up on that,
though. Let's see. Are you in a relationship right now?
Maybe. I don't know.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
Whoever it is, you need to let him go. Sorry, it's just not working.
I'm starting to sweat over here.
There's a little bit of a commitment phobe going on with you.
That's pretty accurate, but I think anyone can see that.
I've met you, 20 minutes ago?
Yeah. Okay, what else you got for me? Come on, keep it coming.
He's afraid to look at you.
I am. I don't think this is I'm sweating.
She'll be able to detect there's no soul.
He's like, I've never seen this, or Chuck cannot look at our guest.
Oops. Do you need my glass of water?
She's over here, Chuck.
Yeah, okay. Hi.
Okay, like I told you earlier, I am real good friends with Carla Berlin, and we were talking this morning, and she told me about your accident.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so, but what I wanted to tell you that I had heard downstairs was because of that is where your intuition has opened up, okay? Because the book that I am in, the Top 50 Psychics, the author was in the same situation, and the book that she wrote prior to this one was called Waking Up Psychic. And kind of same thing for you.
Yeah.
How come, though, if he's opened up since his accident, how come he's not picking up that I don't like talking to him?
Oh, no, I picked up on that. Don't worry.
Because I think you don't have a choice.
I call her Ice Queen for a reason.
No, I think that should maybe be transferred. Is that projection?
Ooh. We need to hug more.
Snap.
Do you is this something you can block? Like if you come into a room and you're like, I don't want to get any readings from anyone.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to allow these.
Yes, and I'm fortunate because when I do a reading, I don't remember it right after. So when I did yours clean, I don't remember what I just told you.
Oh.
And that's actually positive because then I don't carry on your energy.
I have none.
Okay, I got an actual question for you. It just popped up.
Oh.
That was loud. That was weird. Could what you gave me about letting her go be about my ex-wife?
Yes.
But so maybe if I'm in something else, it might not be that, but it might be like just
No, whoever you're with, you need to let go right now. It's
actually
a done
Clayton's
deal.
right.
It's a
You're
done
right.
deal.
Yeah, it's a done deal. It's
Oh.
There's a lot of baggage, and I think it's yours, not hers.
Oh, for sure. Big given.
So unlock the basement door, untie her, and let her go, Chuck.
And don't let the door hit her on the way out.
Well, do you hear that, Madam X? You're done. Pack your shit, grab your toothbrush, you're out.
Oh, boy. So do you get anything from me?
Oh, boy. Actually, not really.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh!
So that's not, what does that mean?
That means you're very blocked. It means
you need some
Maalox.
Metamucil.
I don't
get
mean
you
to
some
be.
Pepto-Bismol?
I don't mean to be. So I can block.
You can block. We all have the ability to withhold information from people. Absolutely. You can look at me right now and say, I don't want her to read me. I'm going to put myself in a suit of armor so she can't.
I'm trying to unblock myself.
Good luck.
Well, it could be because, the second psychic I went to was a horrible experience. Although the first psychic, as I said, that I went to said incredible things, very specific about where I lived, what I liked about where I lived, about my woods, said, your mom is going to face an illness, which, 6 months later, she had breast cancer. And gave detail on my financial situation and the house that came true. So, yeah.
The thing that I do get around you, however, is that you need to be back on TV.
Thank you.
But not my
she
show.
Is the
but
number,
not the show that I'm getting.
The number one psychic in Minnesota.
I'll let you be a guest on my show, Rusty.
I happen to agree. Do you mentioned when your mom, when you were 11 years old and she manipulated the stereo, right?
Right.
Does that continue to happen in your life?
Oh, absolutely. And I find that it's around either family members or friends' death. My best friend, when she passed away 20 some odd years ago, she was at the end of my bed.
Oh.
Yeah. When my dad passed, there was a picture in my home that was basically bolted to the wall, and it came down. So for me, those are just messages that they're around, and that, they're letting me know that it's okay. But the other thing that you want to also pay attention to is when someone does pass, look for silver coins in very odd places.
Really?
Yes.
Why do
your ear. What?
Why do you think that is?
It's just their way of letting you know that they made it and they're okay.
Maybe that explains why he's blocked.
They have
Maybe.
something.
Do you think everybody has the ability to receive messages from spirits or guides or people that have passed in their lives?
Absolutely.
That if they're just open to it?
Absolutely, and
Yeah.
that's the key, is being open to it. But you also have to remember that it is a constant education. So, I may be able to do what I'm doing really well, but if I don't continue my education, my knowledge, and it's like a muscle, you have to keep it moving. You have to work at it.
Do ghosts ever scare you?
Some.
Yeah.
But I don't generally do the paranormal piece.
Yeah.
Mine is more the healing piece, the life coaching piece, the guiding piece. So if somebody is blocked, like you,
Poop out the coins, Rusty. Poop out the coins.
it's finding why they're blocked. So
Yeah, why am I blocked?
Do you ever meet people that have such a dark energy that you just can't even begin to approach them? Like who?
I'm not going to say who.
She looked right at me.
Or how about in that same vein, you get someone, you hear the voices, death soon.
No.
So you don't.
No.
You don't get like
hit by a bus.
Yeah.
Soon.
Ooh, trouble soon.
Look both ways.
Get your oil changed.
Brake lines. But do you ever get bad news that you just don't want to share? Like, oh, what you just told me is horrible. And then you look at that person and go, sunshine.
I do get news like that, but then I don't want to tell the person.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You just don't go there. And what you do is you talk to the person and you're kind and you try to feel them out as far as what their acceptance of the news might be.
Yeah.
And if they just, look at you, look away, shut down, it's like, okay, I'm not going there.
I think that's where smartphones would come in handy in your line of work, because you could go, oh, I just got a text. I guess we're done. Yeah. So you need to go.
How does it work for you then? People come to you or you go to them?
Well, it's a little bit of both. I mean, most people come to me. I can do readings over the phone, but then I also own a store in Buffalo called Fairy House. And so they can make appointments there.
Different fairy house, Chuck. Not the one you went to.
Sounds amazing.
No. It's just a holistic healing center. We have vendors, we have product, and yeah, you can walk in, you can make appointments. We're only open on Saturdays. And yeah, people find me on my website, on the directory.
Yeah.
How'd you find me?
On the directory.
Okay,
So
then.
Yeah.
You know that lady from Long Island, Teresa, who runs around and does
Long Island
where she
meeting.
has like the Frito fingernails.
Yeah, no comment.
So you don't walk up to people at the butcher shop and say, "Hey,
guess what? You're going to die tomorrow?"
No, she's ridiculous, isn't she?
No comment.
You know what?
I don't
I'm
wanna
not
get into
psychic, but
trouble.
I think that you hate her. I'm picking up on a vibe, and
She's very successful, though. But yeah.
she's
Let's
ridiculous.
just put it, and you guys know because you're TV, your
Yeah.
media, your radio, editing.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
How can you do a psychic impression reading over the phone? How does that happen?
I listen to the vibration of your voice.
Oh.
And a lot of times it's much easier to do it over the phone than it is in person, because if I'm sitting here with you in person and you're fidgeting and you're playing with your hair, it's distracting.
Chuck.
So it's, because I'm a phone psychic recognition. And so, yeah, it's just listening to the energy of your voice.
But the voices, who are the voices? They're spirit guides that
They're
come?
spirit guides, they're angels, they're relatives that have passed.
And so for them, being hundreds of miles away on the phone, that's not a hindrance to them.
No.
They're like, not a problem.
Nope.
We're beyond this phone connection. I have 100 bars.
We're at 12G. We've had a whole host of paranormals in and tours. And have you ever done any of those? You said you're not a huge fan of those, but have you ever done any of them and gotten just like massive amounts of energy? I'm just curious.
Actually, no, but when I opened my store, there was a lot of suspicious energy, I'm going to call it.
Ooh.
And so a friend of mine who is just a massive man, he's a warrior, he's a motivational speaker, a gorgeous musician, a shaman. He came in and he cleansed the space. and everything is pitch black.
Febreze.
Well, no, not quite. Maybe a little
Spirit
bit
spray.
afterwards,
Oh, okay.
just to make it.
All right.
But no, he he could pick up on what was in the space and cleared the space.
The power of lavender compels you.
And sage.
Sage. You mentioned your store is Fairies. What's the store?
It's called Fairy House, but it's spelled Faery.
Do you believe in fairies?
Absolutely.
Okay. Explain yourself.
Fairies are little tricksters. I have had a dozen different encounters where they have moved my keys. I know that they were in the counter. Next, they were in the
Fairies.
refrigerator. I lost an earring that I'm currently wearing twice. I know it was on the counter, on a table, and the next time I found it, it was in my car.
So are these fairies actually a physical being that they skitter around like Tinkerbell, or
no.
what is it? Are they of
No.
this dimension, or?
They're of, a little bit higher dimension, but,
Okay.
they like things that sparkle.
Jennifer's mom, my wife's mom, who just passed away, she was very spiritual and felt a belief in, I don't know, a whimsical belief in fairies. She certainly liked to have their images and statuettes around, especially this time of the year.
She also was very attracted to dragonflies.
Maybe so.
Because when you see, or your wife sees, dragonflies, that is her energy connecting with you to let you know that she's around.
I will tell her that. What I did tell Jennifer, I said, your conversation with your mom doesn't stop now, right?
No. She can talk to her, she can see her, she can... Usually when someone who has passed over comes to you in your dreams, that's when they hold the conversations.
I've had that.
My dreams are never that conversational.
Mine are usually about sex, which makes sense, I guess.
Gross. What's wrong with you?
Everything.
The list could go on. All right. Any more questions? She's the number one psychic in Minnesota. We have her just for maybe a moment longer.
Ooh, that was a good little scary
Career.
tune out of that mouth.
Come on. give me
Career,
something
yours?
Yeah, let's go. Come on. Career.
Okay, career. Actually, you need to do more stand-up stuff. Yeah. I don't know what you do
Yeah.
I know you're somewhat of a comedian.
Yeah.
Just saying. But yeah, they're saying more stand-up stuff. Are you, you're currently not booking. Or are you? You are?
Yeah, I'm doing okay there.
Okay, it's not enough.
I think it's plenty.
Yeah. Audiences would disagree with you. It's too much.
What about, really quick, like health-wise for me? What do you, is my health?
Better
Just
hair.
general.
Better hair.
Okay, if you haven't already, you're going to start experiencing headaches.
Uh-huh.
So,
Uh-oh.
a lot of water intake. What you eat is crap.
What is it, the giant pop sitting in front of me from McDonald's?
Is that what that is?
No,
McDonald's?
Colleen.
Yeah, you need to redo your diet.
Okay.
Okay, the other thing that I hear is, and don't take offense to this, because I am known to be blunt and very honest, you need to play with your kids a little more.
How dare you?
Tell me the truth.
How dare you?
Be spot on.
She's the real deal, guys.
Has she seen your profile pic? Is that what this is about? Because her profile pic is my favorite.
You play with my kids more. How about that?
My kids are out of the house. I'll gladly do it.
Do you get a vibe in this place that we're in a funky old house? And
It is a little haunted.
Is it?
It is a little haunted.
Cool.
Maybe it's just your presence.
Or farts.
No.
Jason in the
I might
next
be
room.
dragging some spirits in here, you think?
No, but it is a little haunted.
How is something a little haunted?
Well, it can be
Slightly pregnant.
Yes, exactly. Some homes can be bombarded with energy. There's there's some energy that's a little haunted. I can't.
Yeah.
It's downstairs though.
Well, and there is a basement, too, that's quite creepy as well.
Okay.
Oh, I've never been in there.
Why didn't we do the
Yeah.
show from there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh, that
dang
would be
it.
fun.
Next year.
Somebody was
Yeah, next
stabbed in that.
I'm going to have a show next year, so
basement.
I'm not going to be
Is
what?
that- You just got that
Yeah.
vibe? Say that again?
I said somebody was stabbed in that basement.
Now, why do you...
Is it metaphorically speaking?
How did that just come to you?
It's one of my sex dreams.
It's something that I heard.
Oh, boy.
And it was actually, I hate to say it, but it was a small child.
That did the stabbing?
No.
They're very
Oh.
clumsy.
Wow, who would stab a child? Was Jared Fogle renting this house?
Oh.
Oh, well, that's horrible. So we think there's
But it's a great house.
It is a great house.
Thanks.
But, so there's a child ghost maybe in the basement?
There's maybe a child ghost. I'd have to go down there to know for sure. But
Oh. Tell you what. Let's just for our own Halloween shits and giggles go down there after we're off the show.
Okay.
And we'll talk about it on Monday.
Yes.
Do you mind? Like 2 minutes?
not at all.
You want to hear Chuck scream like a girl?
I think I already have.
There's going to be another stabbing in the basement.
Do you like Halloween, by the way?
Halloween is my favorite
Oh, good.
holiday.
All right.
Yeah.
And do you dress up or anything?
I don't anymore. I did when my kids were little. You know, did the house, did everything imaginable. You know, I even had a sign outside my door that said psychic.
Ah. What kind of candy you giving out?
I haven't even gone shopping for
If
candy
you give
yet.
out the big bars, I will drive up to Buffalo and trick or treat.
I'll buy them.
The
It's
full size.
specifically for you.
Is that your Buffalo?
I am in Buffalo.
All right. Okay, well, I think that wraps up our Halloween week. We're gonna
kinda
rerun.
sad.
Kind of sad.
We're gonna rerun the best of tomorrow, and then let's sincerely go to check out the basement
And we
right
should
now.
also next week still talk about Halloween a lot. Because
No,
it's my favorite.
Rusty transitions to Turkey Week, and it's all turkey.
It's all cranberries.
Yeah, cranberry.
Cranberry. We got the cranberry
Here's how
bog,
you
guys.
turn on an oven.
No, we got a big week next week, so hope everyone has a wonderful Halloween, a safe Halloween. I think I'm going to go to Screamtown tomorrow night, so
Screamtown?
maybe I'll see you out there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Valley
want to
Scare.
see their new
Yeah.
area.
I'm going to compare it to Valley Scare tomorrow.
Saturday is supposed to be great weather.
Beautiful weather.
Thank you.
Perfect.
I remember one year when my kids, I think, it had to been 10 years ago, it was like full moon in like 75 degrees.
I remember that.
And I told them, I go, remember this. Because this will never happen again in your Minnesota Halloween
Dude.
experience.
Climate change. Oh, yeah. This is it.
I
From now
love the nice climate for the Halloween.
Because as we know, Halloween in Minnesota can go anyway.
Well, what are you? Oh, are you a person in a coat for Halloween? That's what everybody is for Halloween.
I'm a snowmobiler. Do you really want to see my Batman costume under this? Screw you and give me the candy bar. Well, that, of course, that epic snowstorm Halloween.
1991, I remember that.
Yep.
We were shoveling the driveway as the afternoon was beginning, and by 7:30 we gave up. I'm like,
Yeah.
good luck, kids.
I remember going out with my boyfriend and driving around, spinning out, and it was just it was crazy.
You
so
and a
fun.
boyfriend were trick-or-treating?
Well, no, I was 18
Oh,
at the
okay.
time. I think 18, 91.
So, yes, still trick or treat.
Yeah.
Well, sounds like it's going to be a nice Halloween weekend. Fall back, everyone. You get an extra hour
Yeah.
on Saturday night.
2 in the morning, you got to
Yep.
set your clock back.
And then, again, we got a whole full week of shows next week.
A bevy of guests.
What are you doing on Halloween?
I am going to cook a pot of chili, and I'm going to supervise my children as they terrorize the neighborhood.
Don't you go out with them, or they?
They're at the age where, and because I'm a single parent, I have to hand out the candy or risk damage to my house. So
You just put the tray out there with a bucket
Yeah.
and say, "Please take one."
trust.
You know what
With
happens?
the word trust.
You come back
First person comes with a bucket
Yeah.
thrown against the wall, and the candy's there.
Not in
Exactly.
my old neighborhood. Because what are the ages?
11 and 9. So
Right on the edge. I'd still go out with them myself.
yeah,
They keep around.
Yeah, and our neighborhood is so tight.
Especially if they don't mind, then I would go out with them. But
Yeah,
if they're
you
like,
get a beer,
"Dad,"
you
no,
get a
they
beer,
beg me.
and
Yeah.
go.
They would. I always get in some funky.
We have a
costume.
big party at my house.
Yeah.
Right
My
on.
sister,
We'll
my
stop by
brother.
there.
You hand
everyone.
out beer to the parents when they come. So.
If they want, yeah. There's a bonfire in the back. I got great decorations, animatronics. It gets pretty
Pretty
real.
funky.
Yeah, my kids love it too. By the way, I spend a lot of time with them putting it together.
Hey, we gotta go, guys. Let's go down to the basement, shall we?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Then you can monster mash. You in monster mash?